Jas, welcome to Dubai. How's Dubai treating you?
Love it, amazing.
Yeah,
great
not
place.
too hot.
I mean, the timing-wise, yes, it's definitely hot.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I was here, you know, in December, January, but look, you have to, you know, you have to work with what's there. So.
It's hot weather throughout the year. It's not like
know.
December, Jan is like snowing or anything.
I
So
know.
it's okay. I mean, and you've raised the temperatures even more by coming here.
I heard that. It's crazy.
Okay, let's talk about your journey and your life, taking you back to when you were 13 and you started a website that was earning £30,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a feat that most adults cannot even think of achieving. So take us back to that time.
So I followed my passion. You know, I had a passion growing up. There's something I loved, and it was watching wrestling, and I've been watching it since I'm a little kid, probably since 1 or 2, since I'm born pretty much. And I didn't even know how I got myself into it, but I started to learn how to build websites, and I started to learn how to do basic coding with HTML and stuff, and I built a site. I started to post news on there. I would go into the IRC chat rooms. I would start sending people to the site for the news, start calling the 1-900 number, you know, of back then it was WWF.
Yeah.
Right, and start posting. And of course, we know the Indian fans are the largest. It's the largest community of wrestling fans. You know,
Yes.
Indians.
They
so
are.
yeah, it started with that and started getting a lot of traction. Built a lot of traction. Got you know, within a year or so, I was earning quite a few from ads.
Yeah.
Ad revenue.
But what was it in particular that sparked your interest in the digital world, and you know, what from your childhood kind of influenced this hustle mentality that you have?
Actually, my dad. So my dad was always, you know, entrepreneur. He had many different businesses and things, and from that point in elementary school, my principal, and when I was in grade 3, she, you know, let me use the computer in the library. And my dad used to always tell me, look, in 15, 20 years, the internet is going to be a very big thing, and it's something everybody will be able to connect on. At that time, they had the internet, but it was called the intranet. It was mainly for the government, you know, primarily. So that's how I started to learn and get abreast. But yeah, my principal in elementary school is the one who let me start playing around with computers.
Yeah, lovely.
And I used to love playing games.
Yeah.
At that time, there was a little Ferrari game. You could go back and forth, left and right.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
Nice. So you've thrived in tech, in finance, and now wellness. So what was that emotional turning point in your career where, you know, that made you say that this is the space that I create the most impact in?
It was after my body transformation, after my weight loss.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Quite a massive one.
Yeah. So I went through a whole journey, a whole experience with that. I feel that that's when I show anybody more than anything that's my business card. I tell them, okay, look, give me a minute, and, you know, let me show you something. And when I show them that, it's the jaw drops right away. And that's because that's something you can't buy. That's hard work.
Yes.
And you know, today you don't know, anybody can show you anything, but you know, hard work is what really translates into long-term success that's sustainable.
Absolutely. And your transformation definitely is iconic. But beyond discipline, what do you think is that mindset shift that you wish you know, people struggling with their health would adopt? What is it, like a mantra or a cheat code?
They have to find, I mean, one of the biggest things is you have to want it, right? You have to want it, and you have to want to feel good yourself. And I feel like if you go back 10, 20 years ago, it wasn't so common. I mean, you know, the health craze wasn't really there.
The awareness wasn't much.
Right, the awareness wasn't as much, but now it's out there with social media.
True.
And everybody wants to look like the other person, but you know, everyone wants to look good and feel great today.
Yeah.
But you have to, you know, there's a combination of things, right? And you just have to set your mind to it. And it doesn't take long. 15 minutes in a day. It's primarily what you eat, right? So eating the right foods, having the right nutrients in a day, and just knowing that you're not going to get results tomorrow. Just be patient and look for the long term. But it helps you in every aspect of your life, not just about physical appearance, but more so mentally, emotionally. You just overall feel much better, and it allows you to perform better in every area.
Of course. And it's a slow process, and there are no shortcuts.
No shortcuts. No shortcuts. Slow and steady, but you win the race in the end.
Well, But tell me, just starting work young also means failing early and learning
Yes.
faster.
Yes.
So what is that one lesson from your entrepreneurial journey that you started so young that you carry with you even today and that guides your decision making today also?
I feel one of the biggest lessons, one of the biggest lessons I've learned from failing is that if you don't try, you're never going to know the answer. If you don't ask, it's always going to be no. If you don't try, you're not going to grow. So I believe in, and again, not everybody's the same way. Everybody has a different risk appetite. We all take certain types of risks, but everyone has a different risk appetite. I just like to bet on myself. And I feel like if I bet on myself, I may not succeed in one thing or another, but I'm going to learn, and I can apply that knowledge into a separate area, which will make up for anything I may have not been able to, the end result ends up being much bigger and better than what I ever imagined.
100%. Tell me something, because we've seen such massive transformation in you. The audience wants to know, how do you sustain this? Like how you look now. So tell us about your non-negotiable daily ritual, and also maybe like one quirky habit that you have that most people would not expect from a high performer like yourself.
I think one of the habits I have is when it comes to diet and food, I tend to eat everything. And that's because I don't ever want to put my body or myself into a position where if I'm depriving myself of something and then later I'm going to go to it and I'm just going to, your body will react in a different way, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest component here is that you can't just follow generic advice. There comes a point in your life when you reach a certain age, when you're over 30, 32, you have to get your blood work done. You have to know your levels, you have to know your thyroid levels, your testosterone levels, all of these things, right? Otherwise, it's like trying to fix a car without having a computer system plugged in to know what the error codes are. You just can't. You're going in blind. So you have to know, and then also intolerances. A lot of people don't look at food intolerances. You may be, a certain type of a blood type as well, and you may not be compatible with eating beef or chicken or things like that, but if you keep eating those things, it's eventually going to backfire on your body. So what I do is, everything I do is monitored with doctors. I eat a balanced diet. Sometimes I'll go and I'll eat anything, right? And I'll eat a lot because I love food. I still am that same person inside.
Is that sometimes like once a week or once a month or once in 6 months?
It's not really calculated. It could be once a week, or it could be 3 times in a week, and then for one whole month I'm just eating proper. But the thing is, if I like something, I'm going to eat. I'm not going to deprive myself of it. I'll put in the work in the gym the next day. I'll burn off the extra calories, but I'll eat what I want to eat. And everybody's body reacts different. So you have to know your body, and you have to go and get your blood work done. And that's how it goes, but limit your sugars. That's the biggest thing. You have to limit your sugars and your carbs.
Great. Okay, now tell us a little bit more about Limitless, because Limitless is not just a company name, it's not just a brand, it's in fact a movement.
Correct. It's a state of mind. Everybody has the power within themselves to be limitless. It just depends on what you define limitless to be, right? For some people, it could be just trying to accomplish one extra thing that they've been trying to do in their life. It could be just having, a supplemental income of $50,000 or $100,000, dollars a year. It's whatever you want, whatever makes you feel that you have made it, that you have achieved it. And it doesn't even have to be monetary. It could be an emotional thing, could be a personal thing. So limitless is more of a state of mind. It was a word that was coined to me based on the number of things that I do in a day. And I just can't touch like one thing. I do 10 different things, but they're all encompassed together. The way I best describe it is in 2010, 2011, I planted about, 20, 30 seeds, and they all started to grow, and now there are flowers, and now there's a forest. And I'm here, and I'm just with a sprinkler hose, just going and watering everything to make sure that it stays green and they flourish. So that's the way I look at it. I think that anybody can be limitless, and it's just finding that power within yourself,
Amazing. Tell me, what was that one career moment in your life where you would have felt this many times maybe, but tell us, when did you feel that this is why I do what I do?
Yeah. I think it happened, it really happened in the last year and a half. You know, a lot of the stuff that I was doing, you know, when you're young and you start building a business and things like that, you really don't, it's not like today, where today everybody is running around with cell phones and Instagram and TikTok and things like that. Back then, I mean, we had, you were, like, I had a pager in high school. Like, that's why, you know, Blackberries and all of that, right? So there was none of that, technology wasn't so advanced. So we weren't really aware of what we were doing at the time. That's why the money came, the money went.
Correct.
But today, it's very different. Today, people are like, they're more aware, they know what they're doing, they know what they're earning, and based off of what they're earning, they know how to position themselves and place it.
True.
So I think that, you know, it's just a timing thing. It's a matter of time and patience, and you know, you do what you ultimately feel like doing. But technology today has really allowed things to get to a much better place.
Much better place, definitely. Well, one final question for you. It was great knowing your journey. Young go-getters generally sacrifice their health for hustle. What is your one piece of advice to them?
Look, I think that this is the way I would put it, right? If you look at the world today, just like awareness of health is massive. You look at primarily even in India, right? So in India, you have fitness, bodybuilding is even more of a I mean, bodybuilding is a sport there. And, you know, in the US, it's looked at in a different way, but in India, it's totally different. You look at the Bollywood film industry, you look at all the actors, the movie stars like Tiger Shroff, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan. I mean, everybody is in great shape. They all promote health, they promote fitness.
Correct.
They hustle, but they prioritize themselves first. So there is no point in having a hustle if you can't prioritize yourself. Because the money never ends. There's never a finish line. When you've made X, you want to make Y. When you made Y, you want to make Z. The goal, the post keeps, you know, you keep kicking it forward. Right? You're always getting from one ladder to another. But if you focus on yourself and you take that hour and a half in the morning, that allows you to feel better. And then you know, okay, this is what I want out of life. This is how I'm going to achieve real, you know, success, which translates to happiness. And this is the amount of money that makes me feel comfortable. And then you know you can live a life. Because if you just keep chasing after the money, trust me, what ends up happening, the money runs away from you at some point.
Absolutely.
So it's not, so ultimately, you know, you want to be successful, you have to be happy. You want to be happy, you have to love yourself. You want to love yourself, you have to make sacrifices.
100%. Thank you so much, Jas. It was lovely talking to you.
You too.